Fantastic historic handicap. We're missing Whispering Death. The overweights, Savannah Bay, 2 over, and Desert Sea, 1 over. And there's a whole host to choose from.
Yes, 34 to get through, and the top horse, he's 100 to 1 shot. That's a big price. That's a big price for a horse that won twice at Royal Ascot last year. Landon Star's been trying shorter trips than this. He's also 100 to 1. Enjoy the Moment at Royal Ascot this year, 12 to 1 for Ryan Moore. Greenwich Meantime, winner of course of the Chester Cup. He's no forlorn chance today, 50 to 1. Samuel Away, 7 to 1. Really impressive first time he stepped up to 2 miles last time.
And moving on down, Eile from Ireland, top-class hurdler, has a decent chance. Everything's right for him to run well. Maybe a little bit high in the weights. Castari, good old stick, now trained by James Bethel, been running creditably. Golden Quest, very well handicapped on some form, conditions should suit. And McCorville, Kevin Darley and George Moore, a horse who's done nothing but improve all season. He's 7 to 1. Lightning Strike, having his first run of the season for Venetia Williams.
Last year's Ebor winner, Mudawin, John Egan, 50 to 1. Ground probably not quite ideal for him. Leg Spinner, who's been campaigned for this race by his trainer Tony Marty. Johnny Murter on board, 14 to 1. Afrad, 1 of 2, trained by Nicky Henderson. Really likeable grade is 22 to 1. Caracciola, Nicky's other runner, probably looks just the pick of the two on looks, 33 to 1. And Somtala, 18 to 1, 1 of 2, trained by McShannon.
ODM, Steve Brown, ran well in this last year. Full House, Frankie Dettori does take his chance, but his best form is on ground a fair bit quicker. Whispering Death, just to confirm, doesn't take part. Farallon, who ran so well in the Chester Cup early in the season, 11 to 2 favourite. Razlan for Martin Dwyer and David Pipe, 20 to 1.
Savannah Bay only had a couple of runs so far this season. Looks well, maybe just need it. 100 to 1. Desert Seed looked fairly good when he won last time. Beat 2 or 3 of these. He's a real good traveller. Inch Nadamp, second in the race last year. It's as good as I've seen him look this afternoon. 20 to 1 for Richard Mullen. Takafu, 100 to 1. Of all the real big outsiders, he's the one that I like the most. Frankie McDonald. And Olimpo comes from a stable that do well in these type of races. 100 to 1.
Ned Ludd, who ran very well at Royal Ascot and has had only 1 run since when he probably needed it, is a 40 to 1 shot. Sunny Peace must have a great chance of giving Hayley Turner a winning ride in the Cesarewitch, which is at 10s. GD Nen, good tough handicapper for Mark Tompkins, 33 to 1. Dr. Sharp, who ran well in this last year, is very well treated on his best form, is at 8s. Trance, Jamie Mackay, 66 to 1.
Brian Ellison runs 2 in this. Great is Gold, the other one. He's won twice at Doncaster this year. Secret Ploy, a real good stayer, 33 to 1. Another trainer doubly represented, Huey Morrison. Indonesia, another one who's out-and-out stayer and comes here in really good form. And Diego Cow, another one you could give him a little bit of a chance. He was a good hurdler for Gary Moore last season. He's not totally out of it. Didn't have any luck in running at all at Goodwood when I watched him run last.
Just over from the Rolling Mile, there is the new revamped July course, lying fallow until high summer next year. And the July meeting with the new facilities, a huge success back in the height of what passed for a summer. And that is miles and miles of something all, as Bernard Van Cutsem once described Newmarket Heath. And there they are, in the far distance. And the William Hill blimp that helps bring them closer, that is 2¼ miles away, that they start the Cesarewitch. Taking the trophy presentation of the big race at Cheltenham this afternoon, won by Nowhere, and the sponsors Pymonts, Tim and Alison Hart represented them. That's Sam Vesti, chairman of the Steeplechase Company, on the left. And after the victory of Nowhere, coming up to take the prize was Raymond and Caroline Mould. Raymond Mould's colours, long familiar, running in for the Tristan Davis yard, and Nigel's horses absolutely flying. Winners everywhere. There's Raymond Mould and Caroline Mould, and the Tristan Davis blitzkrieg of winners continues, and long may it do so. New jockey Paddy Brennan enjoying a fantastic start. Back here, those warriors making their way down to the Cesarewitch start. We've time for a break.
United 2-0. What do you think?
Yeah, let's have it, Barry.
buckle it for you. I want to see you watch.
Introducing the new Saab 9-3.
Through your eyes.
Performance, Scandinavian style. Saab, move your mind.
At this point, I don't believe it. He's hit the gate coming up to the finishing line.
Red Bull Air Race World Series today at 4:10 on 4.
Don't believe it, Tony. A 50-1 shot.
Yeah, ridiculous, Barry.
Welcome back to Newmarket, everybody. Everyone's got a view on the Cesarewitch and the man in the middle of all the muck and bullets, McCurrick.
Fascinating news with this Samtala. The horse has got loose, Samtala, and has been back 22-1 into 16-1 chance, Samtala. But 11-2 favourite Fair Along, although Victor Chandler are going 6-1, and after Pipe Dream a 5-1 favourite, and it could be only the third time in over 100 years the favourites have won the autumn double. Fair Along 11-2 to follow Pipe Dreamer at 5-1. It's 7-1 bar. That's Samurai Way in from 8, late money, office money for that, and 7-1 very, very solid McCorville, who was top price 8-1 with Victor Chandler this morning. 8-1 now against Dr. Sharp. Suddenly Police is fluctuating 10 and 11-1, and it's then 12 and 14-1 bar. 12 Enjoy the Moment female.
Joint favourites on the machines, 7-1 each of 2. Fair Along, Samurai Way. In fact, Samurai Way is favourite now on the exchanges. Betfair currently at 13-2. Fair Along drifting out to 7. Other positives with me: Afrad, Sunny Peace, and Dr. Sharp. He can't go without a mention, Dr. Sharp. He's the key horse of the race in betting terms.
15-2 now, Dr. Sharp, the key horse according to the female.
Well, I'm down at the start here, 2 miles to the distance, and most of them have arrived. Actually, quite a few of them have got quite warm, but obviously here at Newmarket they've got to come the entire way to the start, so I wouldn't be too put off by that. One thing I have noticed is that Samtala arrived down at the start without a jockey. I've no idea at the moment where Tygo Shea is, but the horse has been caught. He didn't seem to be arriving here at a flat-out gallop, but obviously that is a little bit of a concern. He's walking around a little bit warm, but as I said, 10 or 12 of the rest of them are in equally the same state, but no sign at the moment of jockey Tygo Shea. 1 or 2 tack adjustments just taking place. Number 28, GD Nen, Jimmy Quinn just jumped off and just having his saddle adjusted. Fair Along has just arrived. He's not over big, this horse, but he looks really, really well. And actually, of most of them, he's probably got the least warm. But on the whole, it's pretty quiet here down at the start. And I'm hearing that Tygo Shea is apparently just getting to the stalls, and he seems none the worse for that. But as I said, I've no idea actually where they parted company, but I'd have thought that the pair of them will reunite, and they shouldn't be too much the worse for wear. Just hearing now the starters saying the last one's arrived, so it although it's quite a job obviously loading these 34 horses, I'd have thought they'll get underway fairly soon. And other than that, not much to report. Very, very quiet. Last-minute tack adjustments, and as I said, plenty of them got quite warm, having counted the entirety of the distance to start.
Well, as Emma said, quite a few have got warm down at the start. Peter Haynes there just getting things organised, but let's take a look at the eye catchers. Dr. Sharp looks pretty good for us. He always carries plenty of condition. He impressed Simon going to the post. We know that he impressed Alistair about 2 weeks ago. Fair Along, pluses for him as well. And the negative, the Irish foot runner, leg spinner.
With the runners just about to start loading, we can give you a breakdown of what's left in the Scoop 6 today. There are 15 horses covered, 52 tickets remaining. The bulk of them on McCorville and Fair Along, 10 tickets each. 6 onto Dr. Sharp, 4 for Samurai Way, 3 for Enjoy the Moment, Samtala, Razlan and Sunny Peace. Golden Quest, Secret Ploy and Nedlard, 2 tickets riding on those, and 1 for Eile, leg spinner, Afrad and Inch to Damp. So any of those last 4 there, Eile, leg spinner, Afrad, Inch to Damp, we could have a really big winner on the Tote Scoop 6 today. Alternatively, there are 19 who are not covered by any of those tickets. There's Tygo Shea about to be reunited with this big chestnut Somtala, ran very well at Royal Ascot earlier in the season. It's a sort of horse that's made for this race. He's a good stayer, stout stayer, just lacks a gear. Got himself very warm though, hasn't he? Long way to the start here. They don't go down the whole of the racetrack. They cut across the heath. And as a race to view from the stands, it's fairly eccentric really, because the first half of the race is completely out of sight from the stands, and as a race goer, really very dependent on the big screens. Hopefully here on Channel 4 we'll give you the best view of the lot.
Before the draw was made and Samurai Way was put in the unfavourable stall too, he was as low as 4-to-1 favourite. Touch 8-to-1 on the course, is now the 6-to-1 joint favourite, with Fair Along is now drifting out and is now 13-2. So we have a clear favourite. They flip-flopped. Samurai Way at 6-to-1, 13-2 Fair Along. McCorville so steady at 7-to-1. No bookmaker is changing that. Into 7-to-1 Dr. Sharp with 11-to-1 Bar. Afrad is being backed as well into 16-to-1 Afrad. Female on the exchanges, a Samurai Way favourite.
Clear favourite, Samurai Way. Positives, though, are Afrad, Dr. Sharp, Sunny Peace, and Enjoy the Moment.
Well, as they load for the Cesarewitch, 33 of them to get slotted in the boxes. A huge crowd here, as you would expect on Champions Day. It's got pretty well everything you want. Top-class group race action, Group 1 downwards, and a ferocious handicap and a famous old handicap to sort out in the Cesarewitch. Of course, we've got up-and-coming action. We've got the Racing Post Trophy from Doncaster next Saturday and the St Simon Stakes from Newbury. And on the 3rd of November, I shall be up at Wetherby for the Bet365 Charlie Hall Chase. We've got the closing meeting from Newmarket, the Bet365 Ben Marshall Stakes. And down Royal, I think I'll be over there, actually not Wetherby, for the James Nicholson Wine Merchant Champion Stakes. And of course, Saturdays mornings, 8 o'clock, the morning line, don't miss it. Well, they're nearly all in, and the man to call this particular onset of the masses, Simon Holt.
Wetherby or down Royal, Alistair doesn't seem to know whether he's coming or going. Anyway, Mudderwin is going to be one of the last to go in. And Dr. Sharp as well, last year's third. Nearest to us is the Irish runner, Eile, lined up. And they're away. Full house dwells leaving the stalls, just about the last to leave the gate. Razlan away pretty well. Secret Ploy in the red jacket over on the far side. Ned Ludd is showing good speed there with Dr. Sharp, but Dr. Sharp probably just leads to Ned Ludd, followed by the grey Castari, Golden Quest near side red jacket. Secret Ploy followed then by Caracciola in the white. McCorville is quite close up early, near side in the headgear Razlan, and these are followed by Land and Stars. Odium towards the near side. Fair Along is about 12th, I'd say, at the moment. The black and light blue quarters, white cap Jamie Spencer, surrounded by runners at the moment. Greater's Gold on the far side following GD Nen. They're followed by Diego Chow. The yellow is Inch Nadamf, who's been placed for the last 2 years. Takafu follows these with Greenwich meantime in the midfield, deep in midfield, followed by Eile. Then the yellow-jacketed Somtala, the orange of Mudderwin. Further back is Desert Sea, Savannah Bay in the white sleeves. Off the pace, Enjoy the Moment, as we now track back towards the leaders. And up ahead, it's Dr. Sharp, the horse that finished third in this last year behind Detroit City, who leads again from Ned Ludd. Secret Ploy, Razlan, Caracciola and the grey Castari had joint favourites on the off, Samurai Way and Fair Along. Fair Along still in about 10th or 12th place at the moment, not adopting his front-running tactics that we've seen over jump. There is the leader, Dr. Sharp, followed by Secret Ploy, Ned Ludd, Castari, Caracciola, Razlan, GD Nen, McCorville near side, the white-faced Land and Stars, Odium in the headgear, Lightning Strike in the blue and white jacket, Diego Chow in the orange colours as they make their one and only turn now, with still over a mile to travel in this £2.5 million Tote Scoop 6 Cesarewitch, and it's still Dr. Sharp who lobs along in the lead from Secret Ploy. Ned Ludd is third. Castari is disputing fourth on the far side of Caracciola, with Razlan on the near side. McCorville in the hoop sleeves is handy. Landon Stars, GD Nen close up. Then Lightning Strike. On the outside in the red with the blue sleeves and the white armlets, Takafu has got closer from Odium. Inchner hunting up the light green jacket with the stripes on the sleeves. Sunly Peace is beginning to get into it a bit from Greenwich meantime. Then Mudawin is further back. Savannah Bay very wide. Very wide is Full House. Now look on the extreme right, that Samurai Way in the black jacket. A lot of ground to make up at the moment for one of the fancied runners here. Must be 15-20 lengths off the gallop, but they've gone very fast. Fair Along is going to challenge up the far rail, getting into about 8th or 9th place as they now enter the closing stages, and still Dr. Sharp making the running by a couple of lengths to Ned Ludd. These two have been up with the pace throughout as they now run down towards the final half mile. Caracciola in third place. Inchner is coming through once again. Another big run in the Cez from Castari. Then Leg Spinner in a noseband. Razlan. Fair Along is looking for racing room. Out wide to Carfu. And then the grey Afrad is getting into it on the extreme outside in the noseband. Dr. Sharp and Ned Ludd, followed by Caracciola. Then Inchner Castari. Fair Along is now squeezing in between horses. Jamie Spencer may just have to switch out. He's still surrounded by runners, but going well as Leg Spinner moves forward. Takafu, Afrad down the outside. Enjoy the Moment is now looking very dangerous with the white face. They're inside the final 2 furlongs, and Leg Spinner comes through to take over from Caracciola on the far side, chased by Fair Along in third place. Inchner is back in fourth. Leg Spinner from Caracciola inside the final furlong. Fair Along back in third. It's Leg Spinner for Ireland by 3/4 of a length to Caracciola. Fair Along and Leg Spinner gamely wins the Cesarewitch. From in second was Caracciola. Fair Along in third. Followed home then, it looked as though it might have been Eile or Enjoy the Moment. Eile was back in fourth place. Might have been Inchner in fifth. And they trail back in the end to Diego Chow. And McCorville well beaten in the end. But it's gone to number 12, Leg Spinner, in the hands of Johnny Murtagh, winner of the Ascot Stakes in 2005. It has won here for Tony Martin. Leg Spinner. Second, number 14, Caracciola. In third place was number 19, Fair Along. Fourth was number 6, Eile. And in fifth place, some bookmakers paying out, it's Inchner, another big run for him in the Cesarewitch. But Leg Spinner has come through to land the spoils here. Ferociously competitive handicap all the way. On the left, Caracciola in the white jacket, battling on hard under Eddie Ahern. Fair Along had his chances back in third place. And then Eile running on with Inchner in the yellow jacket. And the grey Castari wasn't far behind either.
Inchner wins the Cesarewitch at 20-1, and there is one winner. Wins £1.5 million of the Tote Scoop 6, and we'll have about £1 million running up next week, covering that on Channel 4. 20-1 against the winner of the Cesarewitch, that Leg Spinner. Sorry, Leg Spinner wins 14-1. I'm sorry, 14-1. Leg Spinner, 7th choice of the punters. Leg Spinner wins at 14-1, drifts out from 11 and 10-1. It was the original 9-1 joint favourites when the weights came out. The runner-up is Caracciola at double carpet, 33-1. The third horse is Fair Along, the 6-1 joint favourite. Fourth is Eile at 25-1, and the fifth I was talking about, Inchner. Those backers who get the each way with Tote Sport and other bookmakers to pay 5 places. Inchner, that is fifth at 20-1, but 14-1 Leg Spinner, the second Irish train winner of the Cesarewitch, vintage crop, 15 years ago.
Wow, what a wonderful season Johnny Murtagh's had. 6 Group 1s, and I would imagine a season hurdling has stood him in good stead for this marathon trip in soft ground. Really patient ride. I thought Caracciola travelled particularly well. Dr. Sharp took them along as he did last year at a really searching pace, but I thought that Nicky Henderson's horse had them covered from a long way out. Inchner went with him, but Leg Spinner was the one who had that little bit extra stamina at the end. Fair Along, Jamie Spencer tracking Johnny Murtagh, but they just couldn't go with him. Maybe the ground, if anything, probably sticky enough even for Fairlong. But leg spinner, really well prepared. He's the trainer that a lot of bookmakers fear the most, Tony Martin. I thought he was the best amateur I've ever seen ride, and he's an even better trainer.
Yet another huge triumph for Johnny Murtagh, and fair play to Tony Martin, John. This horse has had some problems. He's quite a good stayer with Mick Shannon as a younger horse.
Leg spinner, the last of the 4 winners so far this afternoon here at Newmarket. We kicked off at 2:05. Number 15, Miss Lucifer, in the challenge, winning at 20-1. In the Dewhurst, it went to the favourite, number 9, New Approach, unbeaten in 5 starts now, 6-4 favourite. In the Champion Stakes, it went to France, number 11, Literato, as 7-2. And leg spinner wins the Cesarewitch at 14-1.
Well, Tony Martin, his mum didn't raise any dim children when it came to plotting them up for handicaps. This horse has had its problems. He's an Ascot Stakes winner, 4th in this last year. 3 runs this year to bring him to the Cesarewitch on Champions Day. J. Murtagh up, and the rest, well, those who couldn't work it out for themselves and rode in with Tony Martin and his fearsome reputation for landing a punt in a fiercely competitive handicap. Well, they've had a payday.
Now, the burning question for some of you is whether you've had a payday on the Tote Scoop 6 this afternoon. Of course, that huge prize up for grabs.